to NFL what? Oregon versus Washington and Swifty. All that on American Game Day. Welcome, everyone! Good thing today's not Friday, or it was yesterday, because yesterday was the 13th of October on a Friday, but today is Saturday, October 14th. What a beautiful Saturday it is, and I've been talking about college football a lot in this show this year, but, I mean, we do have Oregon and Washington, but before I jump into some college football, let's talk about some NFL. I mean, you saw the title of this week's episode, NFL What? What does that mean? Why is there a what in the title? Well, I'm about to explain that for you. But first, let's check out some weekday scoreboard recap. What are our first games, or, the games we had over the weekend? Well, there was a good game on Tuesday night. Well, for Liberty. Liberty beat Jacksonville State 31-13, telling Jacksonville State, saying, "Welcome to the FBS. Enjoy the ride." And guess what? That makes Liberty bowl eligible. Yep, Liberty is bowl eligible now. They are undefeated. They are the first group of 5 teams to go undefeated. Also, there was quite a game on Thursday night. It was back and forth in the Big 12. Houston wins it off of a Hail Mary, giving the new teams in the Big 12 their first win over West Virginia. Wow, and and with Houston's win over West Virginia, basically guarantees an OU Texas in the Big 12 championship game. And also there was a game last night, Tulane and Memphis. Again, this was recorded before the game ended. So here's the final score of that game, even though I have no idea what the score is. Alright, now time for your NFL headlines. Starting off with the 49ers, in case you watched the game earlier last week. Yep. Tight end George Kittle, if I pronounce his name right, wore a t-shirt over the win on Cowboys that said, Cowboys suck. Yeah, it's really not suitable for TV and for YouTube, but yeah, he got fined for it, and he said it was 100% worth it. Yeah. Also, Deshaun Watson is out with the shoulder injuries versus the 49ers coming up this Sunday. Alright. Now let's jump into some, the title of this week's episode, NFL What? Yeah, who knows what the NFL is up to today? Well, let's look at the American standings. Yeah, this is going to be pretty good. At number 5 is the Colts. Number 4 is the Jaguars. Those two are not bad. Then the Steelers. And then we have the Dolphins. And then the Swifties. Yes, the Swifties. Yep, that's what they're going to be calling. I'm calling them now, in case you didn't pick that up. But, yeah, the Swifties, the Dolphins are really the only good team in the American standings. All the other ones, I mean, decent. Steelers, Jaguars are decent. The Colts, I think they just got some easy win, or not easy win, lucky wins. But, yeah, there's only 4 teams out of the 15 in the American standings that are good. They're good enough to go to the playoff. And maybe, and the Swifties and Dolphins are really the only team that are good enough to go to the Super Bowl. So, Yeah, once again, another classic NFL season where we already know who's going to go to or which one of these teams is going to go to Super Bowl, and we're not even midway through the season yet. Yep. Yeah, I mean, we're still almost a couple weeks away from midway through the season, but I mean, yeah. Still a lot of football left, and we already know who's going to be there. But, I mean, let's not get our hopes up too low, because let's look at the national standing. Maybe there's some mix-up in the national standing. The Seahawks, they're at 5. They're still in the hunt. Buccaneers, okay, they're not that bad. The Lions are not that bad either. The Eagles are up next, and the 49ers are at 1. The Nationals really have given us some hope. 49ers. Well, I mean, 49ers haven't been up. I mean, they've been up there, but they haven't been in the Super Bowl in a while. Eagles, they were up there last year, but I mean, they haven't been up there in. They haven't been this successful in a few years, so it's fun to see the Eagles up there again. The Lions are quite surprised for me. And then the Buccaneers. Yeah, they don't have Tom Brady anymore. They do have Baker Mayfield, who is not doing that bad of a job. He is, I could think he's a great replacement for Tom Brady. I mean, he's not going to beat some Tom Brady, but I mean, the Buccaneers definitely look like a playoff team. The Seahawks, I mean, just like the Colts, getting lucky wins. But, Nationals Conference is looking pretty undecided. I really do not know who's going to go to the Super Bowl out of these two teams. I already know which two in the American Conference. The Nationals, it's wide open. But, again, it's really the same old teams winning, the same old players dominating, and that's why I like college football so much, because you never know what to expect week in and week out. Just so you know, the Swifties did win Thursday night, 19-8. What a win for the Swifties. Yeah, Taylor Swift was down there. Kelly, Kelly was questionable. Travis Kelly was questionable to play. He did play. He was a star in his position, so, that was that. Alright, we got some NFL games tomorrow. The Vikings versus the Bears at noon on Fox. I'm gonna go with an early pick here. I think the Bears are gonna win, even though I really don't think that even is a good game. Maybe, I don't know. But what is a good game, and will tell us more about the Colts and the Jaguars at noon on CBS. Yet the winner of that game will likely move ahead in the American Conference, potentially set them up for not only the Wildcats to playoff, but straight to the playoff with that win. It'd be a good look at them. The loser it'll probably come down to the last game if they make the wild card or not. But our game of the week is the Lions and the Buccaneers. Yes, two of the top teams in the top 4 in their conference. Yeah, I just showed you the standings. 3:25 on Fox. It's gonna be a big game. Buccaneers at home. I'll have my prediction later on in the show in the option. But it's the Cowboys versus the Chargers in Monday Night Football. I really had an open spot, and I needed there. There's really not much NFL. There's no big NFL games this week. Or really at all this season. I really haven't seen any, even the big ones really haven't lived up to the hype. But we do got a good one tomorrow night. The Lions. Golf. He is looking really good, and then that's his record, stats, whatever, and then here's Baker Mayfield. Yeah, he might not have as many yardage, but I mean, they might be mostly running, but I mean, they did have that bye week. I think he'll get to that 1,000 yardage this week, this game, and again, I'll have my prediction for the winner of this game later on in the show, but back to college football. Yes, you remember the controversy, is he down? Oh, was that really a fumble? Did Georgia Tech really win that ball game? Well, the ACC official reviewed it, the long extension one, over, the the early part of the week, and they said it was the right call. Officiating did a great job. Fumble was the right call. I saw the replay. I took a look at it in a couple minutes, and I mean, first look, I initially thought it wasn't a fumble. I was down, but it's really hard to see the football. But live view, I say he was down. But for the ACC officials to confirm it that was a fumble, I think it really should have stayed, whatever the call is on the field. But I still can't believe they called that a fumble. But hey, it is what it is. But karma, gotta take a knee. I'm gonna haunt them that for the rest of their season. And Mike Stoops, yeah, the head coach of Kentucky, yeah, throwing shot at Kirby Smart, saying Georgia is using the NIL to buy really good players. Yes, they are using the NIL money and recruiting so they can win 3 back-to-back championships. Okay, we'll see how that goes. I mean, Kentucky really didn't have that. I think penalties and miscommunications, the most part. I mean, Georgia has had a pretty close game, but Kentucky, that was really embarrassing. All right, and then Kentucky's quarterback will be out versus Oklahoma State tonight. Yep, it's going to be a big loss, and once again, OSU might get another lucky one. Is OSU, they were projected to be at the bottom of the Big 12 this year. Do they, I mean, I'm not saying they have a shot at the Big 12, but I'm saying they have a shot at making some noise. Just saying. And Deion Sanders is in the news once again. I mean, I haven't talked about him in the last couple of days. Oh, in case you're wondering, yeah, Travis Hunter, he'll be back. He was back. I'm sorry, yeah, they did play Friday night, and he did play. But I am recording this before, so I told that he will be playing, so I'm assuming he did. But, he also said before the game, or, the day before the game, is, the game's at 9 o'clock. They played Stanford on ESPN. He's happy about the network. He wasn't happy about the timing. He saying that Pac-12 After Dark, it's the stupidest thing ever. I think he just wants to be in the news again. Alright, let's take a look at our game of the week. Number 8, Oregon versus number 7, Washington. 2:30 ABC. Yes, the two best teams in the Pac-12. They're really at the same ranking, the same record. Who's gonna come out on top? I really don't know. I've been hyping up Oregon all season long. Media's been hyping up Washington all season long. I really haven't seen it from Washington yet. Both these two teams really haven't played a really good team yet or been tested. So, this is really proves if one of these two teams are really, truly playoff worthy. But let's look at some quarterback comparisons. Yeah, Bo Nick is 80% over 114 yards. Over 14,000 yards, blah, 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 nobody's saying. 15 touchdowns, 1 interception. Not bad stats. And then we go to Michael from Washington. He's throwing 75%. How do you get this as a total yardage? I have no idea. 1 yard short from 2,000. Okay. I'm just going to say he has 2,000 yards because you never know. Just barely, someone might make a mistake and the officials might throw in yards back anyway. Things happen, but I don't know how that happens. Anyway, yeah. Two great quarterbacks going in after each other. Both are in the Heisman race. But what does the Pac-12 standing look like? Well, number 5 is Utah. Oregon State at 4. Washington at 3. USC is at 2. Oregon as 1. Yes, USC is in between Oregon and Utah, mainly because they have more wins over their conferences. They play more conference games. That's pretty much it. Alright, but speaking of USC, they got Notre Dame tonight. Number 10 versus number 21. Well, you remember what happened to number 10 last week? The number 10 team last week was Notre Dame. They lost. USC is now on upset alert tonight, along with Washington State and Oregon State. Yep, Arizona is not that bad of a team. They're pretty good. They can pull off a big upset tonight. Also, Chip Kelly, I mean, he hasn't had that great of a season. I mean, a basic season. I expected him to do more. But also, they had a great win last week, and I'm expecting them to be good this tonight. And Oregon State, I mean, both these two teams had their good games and their bad games. They've really never had a complete game. So this game is going to answer us to both. I think the winner is going to be ranked, the loser is going to be out of the rankings, and the winner might go to the Pac-12 championship if, that's only if and if, craziness happens in the Pac-12, which is very likely, and we'll start seeing that here in the next couple of weeks. So, yeah, all those Pac-12 teams ranked, that's not going to last long because they're all playing each other next couple of weeks. And then the ACC, with that win over Miami, they are at 5. Duke is at 4. North Carolina, Louisville, and Florida State are all undefeated. It's going to be the race of a lifetime in the ACC. This is one of the best ACC seasons I've seen in a long, long time. But it would be good. I was going to make this the game of the week, but Miami had to lose. Yeah. So, yeah, sorry, Miami. You're not gonna be the talking point. I was gonna make you the talking point this week. Also, North Carolina, but not anymore. Sorry, bye. I got other games to talk about. Syracuse, what happened? I was also gonna make you the talking point this week. But, yeah, you had to lose to Clemson, a few other games. And, I really thought you had a true matchup against Florida State, but, yeah, fell the rankings, fell apart, can't figure out how to bounce back. Florida State's got an easy win this afternoon. And NC State and Duke. NC State's not that bad, but they did barely beat Marshall. I'm expecting NC State to show up. They're probably looking ahead of this game. But Duke is a really good team. I mean, they'll be without their starting QB, but I really think that Duke will get this game done. They will finish this game the right way. Wow, what a season it's been for the ACC. Now, what does the Big Ten hold for us? Well, let's look at the Big Ten standings. This one is kind of weird because it goes Iowa 5, Wisconsin at 4. Those two are playing each other this afternoon. And then the 3 best teams right now tied for first is Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. Yeah, well, I mean, Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State. Yeah, they probably won't be playing any really true games anytime soon. Mainly wait until late October. But the big one, or the battle for the West, Iowa and Wisconsin. It's the Big Ten West championship game. The winner of this game is likely playing Ohio State, Michigan. Yeah, I was like, Penn State's good enough, but one of them, they're going to lose either Ohio State and Michigan. So, the winner of this game is likely playing Ohio State or Michigan in the Big Ten championship game. But, who's it gonna be? Well, those two teams have trap games today. Indiana, Purdue, they got a good roster. They got some talent, but they really haven't been able to finish the game like they should. But I had high hope for Indiana this year, but they didn't come to terms as I thought they would. Purdue, what happened? You used to be really good at the top of the conference every year. make a challenge for these top teams. But, you don't seem to be doing that this year. But Purdue always gets one huge upset in October. It's October. They're playing a ranked opponent. Upset alert, trap game for Ohio State. 11 o'clock on a Peacock, but I think Ohio State will get it done. And the Big 12 is getting less entertaining now. At number 5 is BYU. Number 4 is Kansas. Number 3 is West Virginia. They did just lose to Houston. So, now it's Oklahoma, the only undefeated team in the Big 12, with Texas right behind them. So, yeah, that's that. We already know we're at the beginning of October, and we already know what the Big 12 championship game is going to look like. But there is going to be, I really thought that West Virginia would win that game last night, or Thursday night. But there is one other new team coming in that I think will really put a challenge this afternoon. You see it right there on this graphic. BYU has the talent, has the ability to beat TCU. I think they could. I'm putting BYU to win this game. Also, Kansas will be out of their starting QB, but they are on the road. Can OSU pull off another upset? I think they could, but I think they might have a lead at the end, but I have Kansas scoring a late game field goal to win the game. Missouri's at 5, LSU's at 4, A&M's at 3, Alabama is at 2, Georgia is 1 in the SEC standings. Yep, Georgia and Alabama are once again at the top of the conference, but the key one to look after this week is Missouri and Kentucky. Kentucky is ranked. They probably had their worst game of the year against Michigan last week. I think they'll get those mistakes fixed. They got a good game at home against Missouri, who has been a underrated team in the SEC this year. They did get a disappointing loss to LSU, a game that I think they really should win. So, that's going to be a really good game if you're an SEC fan and want to see some noise and mess up, potentially upsets down the line to ruin Georgia or Alabama's season later on. A&M and Tennessee. It was a big game last year, but both teams have had their struggle. Jimbo Fisher really hasn't had the team that everyone thought he was going to have these next couple of years. Josh Heupel, I guess it's just once in a lifetime type of deal. Tennessee's still good, but they were not the same team they were last year. And then Florida. I had high hopes for Florida this year. They're doing great in recruiting. They just gotta figure out how to play. That's all you gotta do is play. Use your talented players and play. Same as South Carolina. South Carolina, come on! You got some good receivers out there. You got the defense. Their offense is really struggling lately. And then Auburn, not that bad, but LSU, they got great offense. I've seen their offense struggle slightly against Missouri, but they know how to make a comeback and win games. So, but that defense, ooh. I think Auburn's going to win this game because I think they got the offense to beat LSU, and they do have the defense. LSU's got no defense at all. And then let's take a look at the Group of 5 notable game. Georgia Southern and James Madison, 11 o'clock on ESPN2. Navy versus Charlotte, 1 o'clock on ESPN+. I know that's really not a big game, but I only have like 3 big games. I have a 4-box graphic. Yeah, I don't have a 3-box graphic. And then Marshall versus Georgia State. Gonna be a good game. And then our Group of 5 game of the week. Wyoming versus Air Force. Air Force is undefeated. They win this game. Not only do they go 6-0, 6-0 means they are bowl bound. Wyoming, I mean, their only loss to Texas State. I mean, their only losses to Texas. And they were in that game. It's gonna be a good week for the winner of that game. The winner of that game very likely is going to be ranked. Alright, let's look at my top 6 rankings. In case you missed out on this distance on Tuesday, we got some changes for the first time this year. Ohio State, Florida State, Georgia, they're all in the top 3, but we got some changes. Michigan falls down a spot, making room for OU, the winner of the Red River rivalry, at 4, and Penn State goes down to 5. So, yeah. Couple teams moved down and make room for Oklahoma, and I gotta say, these 4 teams right now, these 6 teams are really the best 6 teams right now, and I gotta say, it's really hard. I mean, the AP agrees with me. These are the best 6 teams. Here, we're gonna pull up the AP top 6 right now. They got Georgia at 1, Michigan at 2. Ohio State at 3. I forgot who was at 4. 4 is Florida State. 5 is Oklahoma. And 6 is Penn State. So, yeah, we have the same teams in the top 6, just in different orders. But, I mean, truly, to me, in my perspective, I think all these 6 teams are tied for first right now. I think they all should be tied for first. Because, I mean, yeah, all the 6 teams have struggled at one point. Really, none of them had a perfect season yet. And the teams that have had a perfect season, like Michigan, Georgia, and Ohio State, hasn't played their best schedule yet, so it's still to come. So we'll likely see some more changes to come. But yeah, it's gonna start getting crazy. So before we jump into that, let's look at what's going around the network. Slayport Podcast. I have no idea what the topic's gonna be on Monday, but you know, whatever the results of tonight is at 6 on Monday, and then recapping the full Week 7 of college football, down and distance on Tuesday. And then we got more football to talk about next week for Week 8 of college football. American Game Day next Saturday at 10. And it's almost time for Debatable starting this October. I have a date, so you can check it out on our website for our full schedule, latest news, scores, stats, all that fun. Entertainment schedule, all that going around the network here on Busy Sports. Joke game of the week: UMass versus number 6 Penn State. 2:30 Big Ten Network. Gonna be a entertaining game for Penn State fans. I gotta say, their defense might be the best defense we've seen all season, because UMass doesn't know how to score, and also Penn State offense knows how to score. They'll likely put up a touchdown every play. Prediction: Penn State putting up a touchdown every possession in the first half. I'm 6-0, and joke game of the week. I probably need to change this segment to make it harder for me. Next year, maybe I will make it harder for me more. Maybe I'll do something else. But it turns out picking these type of games is easier than I thought. Anyway, the option! Sunday, tomorrow at noon. It's a huge game on CBS. The Indianapolis Colts. I can't even say it. The Colts versus the Jaguars. I can't believe I screwed up that name. Yeah, moving on. Can we go to the next game? I had to pick a winner. Oh, okay. I picked the Colts. Oh, I got you there. I was typing that the Jaguars win this game. I think the Colts, they're an unexpected team. I think they're going to find a way to win this game. And the NFL game of the week, the Lions versus the Buccaneers tomorrow at 3:25 on Fox. Huge game for these two franchises. Both of them are looking to make a statement in the NFL, rise their standings, and potentially knock out the Swifties and the Eagles. I got Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield winning this game. I think their defense is good enough to make stops, and I think they'll no problem that they'll have their offense getting things done. And now, college football pick on Syracuse, Florida State. Gonna be a good matchup for Florida State because I think they're gonna dominate. I think Syracuse will give Florida State some trouble in the first quarter. Syracuse might even have a lead 3-0 at one point. But I think Florida State will hold strong, have a complete game, and win it. And then A&M on the road to Tennessee. Tennessee, no matter how good or bad they are, those fans show up and are crazy. It's really hard to beat Tennessee. They're number 20 ranked. They're good enough to win this game, but Jimbo Fisher does have the talent to win this game. But does he have the coach enough ability to win this game? I don't think so. I got Tennessee winning this game, 2:30 on CBS. And then the next game, we've got our Big Ten matchup of the week. In the West, we've got Iowa versus Wisconsin, 3 o'clock on Fox. Huge game. Winners go into the Big Ten championship against either Ohio State or Michigan. The loser, well, we'll just have to cry and do the exact same thing next year. But I actually think that Iowa will score points this time. They will catch up to the offensive coordinator points guard and will win this game. And then at 6 o'clock, ESPN2, Marshall versus Georgia State. Hey, this is going to be a hard one. Georgia State, not that bad of a team. They were undefeated at one point this year, farther than I thought they would. Marshall's not that bad either. They both got one loss this year. Both got a lot to prove. And I think Georgia State, I think Marshall is the favorite of this game, but I got Georgia State at home winning this game. And then our huge SEC matchup of the week, 6:30 on the Conference Network, Missouri versus Kentucky. It's going to be a really, really, really challenging game for these two programs. I'm having a hard time picking a winner in this game. But yeah, you see my graphics just pull up. I got Missouri on the road. They are not too bad. Kentucky's going to have a lot of problems, just like they had last week, get to Georgia. And I think Michigan will take advantage of that and find a way to win the game. And then Georgia Southern versus James Madison. I don't give the group of 5 much love, but I am today. Wow, this is a big game in the Sun Belt. It's an early game at ESPN2. And I think James Madison, they look really good for their first couple of years in the FBS. And I think they can easily knock down Georgia Southern. And then our other big group of 5 game of the week, 6 o'clock on CBS Network, CBS Sports Network. Wyoming versus Air Force. Air Force, undefeated, win this game. They're bowl eligible. Wyoming, they win this game. I mean, they will have to wait another couple of weeks to go to a bowl game. But they could say, hey, we are only lost to Texas and, well, in the Air Force, because I got Air Force win this game. I had to go quick because I'm going a little long. And then number 10 versus number 21. This was one of my, I was probably going to do this as my game of the week. But USC and Notre Dame both had their struggles. But it's prime time on CBS. I mean, on NBC. And I think Notre Dame, I mean, they're playing their 4th ranked opponent this season in a row. I think they get it done. I mean, USC was practicing punting with sprinklers in the rain like they think Notre Dame's going to punt. Yeah, that's the only reason why I picked Notre Dame, because USC's practicing for something stupid. And then Miami and North Carolina, number 25 versus 12, 6:30 on ABC. You see my graphic right there with Miami's coaching struggles. North Carolina, Mac Brown did an awesome job down there. They're going to win that game and become bowl eligible. And then our game of the week at 2:30 ABC, Oregon versus Washington. They're both at the top of the Pac-12. Winner of this game is very likely going to the Pac-12 championship game. The loser is very likely going to the Pac-12 championship game. So we'll likely see a rematch down the road. But the thing is, we're all watching this game not to see who's potentially going to go to the playoff. We're watching this game to see who's going to stand out. I mean, this is really the true test for both these two teams. But I got Washington winning this game. I like what they've done this year, and they've really just been unstoppable. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week.